Okay, people ask about these bee escapes from time to time, and I know others have done videos, and that's just fine. And here's my take and my comments on these. They both work just fine. Uh, I have a number of this kind here, and they work just fine. I have a number of these, they work just fine. I build these. I find them a little less fussy to build than these. Screen. Well, I was going to say screen is a little costly. If you use number 8 screen, it is a little costly, but you don't have to use number 8. And I'll comment about that in a minute. So this is, some folks call this a conical bee escape, to the bees above the brood chamber or above the bottom boxes, wherever you happen to want to put this, will travel down through these little cones here and congregate in this space. These are nice and deep. I like the fact that these are fairly deep. It gives you a lot of space to house those bees. It gets kind of congested in there when when everybody gets pushed down. And these are a fine product. I know the people who build them. They're fine people. I would never knock their products. So these are a very good choice for bee escapes if you're buying bee escapes. Personally, I like to build whatever I can. So because I'm building bee escapes, I don't happen to build this style. It doesn't mean it's no good. This has a difference from the ones I build in that, I mean, other than the obvious, is this two-piece rim. This, I guess that's, I don't know, half-inch piece there is there to just capture that screen, really. And the reason this is here in my shop is I had to repair it. I've had this happen a couple times this summer, and I don't own very many of these, so maybe I'm just not being careful. But when I go to remove the supers from these bee escapes, if I pry the box off over here, for example, and lift it up off of there, sometimes this piece tended to stick to the super that I'm prying off, and it rotates and pulls out of there. I put it back on there. I put some really good glue on it, and you know, that's a kind of a minor thing, but I found that I need to kind of be aware of that when I use these. I draw an arrow on my bee escapes because it never fails. Well, I'll go back to this. Because this has a two-piece side, I can see that that's the top without the arrow, but I can see the arrow at a longer distance. So I get a bee yard set, and then I'm rather tired at the end of that, but paranoia sets in that I put my bee escapes all the right way up. With the arrow, all I need to do is look at that hive, and the bee escape is pointing up. That arrow is pointing down, then you've got some work to do. Okay, this kind of bee escape, this is called, some call it a Quebec bee escape or a triangle bee escape. The differences are, it's not as deep. You could build it as deep as you want. So that's not an inherent design issue, and as well as this, if you were building this one, you could build it as deep as you want. So this is only 3/8 of an inch deep on top. That's not really a very important measurement. You make it whatever you want, and it's 3/4 of an inch deep on the bottom. And again, I think making that a little deeper would be advantageous to give you more space for the bees when they go down. Of course, this is upside down now, so remember that. And this is a good example of what I wanted to show. I was kind of running low on screen here, and you'll notice I've used window screen as opposed to number 8. I've found that number 8 on here, the bees sometimes they get congested in here, and they start pushing their heads through the number 8, and then they get stuck and they die. So this is just illustrating that I was running out of screen, and I just kind of patched it together, which will work just fine, because the screen is only there to give the bees, if you think like a bee once you're down in the brood chamber, and again, this is upside down, so you want to go back up. You want to go up there, okay? But you don't really have the reasoning ability to actually say, okay, I need to start here. I need to start here and go, you know, through the little labyrinth to get up there. So they want to go this way. So the screen is only there so that they can kind of smell the honey, and they think that that's the way they want to go. So these are pretty easy to make. The triangle pieces, you have to kind of finesse those to the right angles. Or 60-degree angles here, by the way. Of course, there's 3 of them. But the lengths of those are kind of important, because you want 3/8 of an inch here, and you want, you know, that's more than 3/8, but you want 3/8 of an inch. I'm going to do another video on how to put these together. So anyway, that's the discussion about bee escapes. And again, I put my arrow on there, so when I'm done setting that yard, I can wander back past all the hives and check my work that I've got everything. You don't want to put it on upside down. It doesn't work at all if you put it on upside down. So there you go.